Hi Scorpio, welcome and thanks for tuning into my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. This is a general love reading for the sign of Scorpio for this coming week in September. Today is Friday the 18th. So Scorpio, we're going to get started on a reading for you. This is a general reading, so I want to remind you it can apply to just about anything, relationships or otherwise. Don't forget to be flexible with the energy. You can interchange the roles within the reading regardless of gender. This also means that you might feel like I'm reading for you. You could feel like you're cross-watching for somebody else instead. Parts of the reading may resonate for you and other parts may not. My hope is that you get something out of it that's helpful and beneficial to you in some way, shape, or form. So let me give my first deck a couple more shuffles. By the way, if you're brand new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that the reading resonates for you. I hope you enjoy it. There is more specific information in the description box below. This is Carmilla. She's a green-cheeked conure. She likes to hang out with me. She's my son's bird. And I do also want to just mention real quick that it is a little bit dim. We have a rainy day, thank goodness, today, so the lighting is a little off. But I am in the Pacific Northwest and we need this rain, and it's been dry for the past probably 6 weeks or longer, and we're not used to this in this area. It usually rains a lot, so we need it. The fires are starting to get under control out in this area, and this is much needed. Okay, Scorpio, so enough chit chat about the weather. Let's go ahead and get started and see what we've got for you. Here we go. The Star in reverse and Temperance in reverse. Seven of Swords. The World. Five of Wands in reverse. Three of Cups. Three of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. So this is looking like it might be an interesting reading, Scorpio. First of all, it feels like it pertains to a group dynamic. So this could be a group of family members. This could be colleagues, co-workers, a social circle, maybe a group of friends. But I feel like there's some kind of disruption within a group dynamic. And by disruption, I feel like I'm not sure it's something that's overt, something that's out in the open, something that's being talked about. I think there's something going on within a group dynamic that's not being talked about. I think everybody kind of is aware of it and might be thinking about it. Maybe people are wondering who's going to bring this up. Who's going to talk about the elephant in the room? But it's causing this kind of energy. Star in Temperance in reverse. And it's surrounding Seven of Swords energy. So there's some deception, some kind of poor behavior, someone causing problems, behaving badly. Perhaps some lying. Seven of Swords is kind of can span the spectrum of, you know, petty white lies all the way up to criminal behavior. So there's something going on with this within this group dynamic that's causing some problems. But I feel like it's not being talked about. So it could be some kind of behind the scenes shenanigans, if you know what I mean. We have a Queen of Wands in reverse on the table. I'm going to reserve my analysis of this individual until I get the second set out. See what's going on with this person. So here we go. We have the Tower in reverse and the Fool in reverse. There's the Seven of Swords. I don't take this third card on the bottom of the deck, but it's there. And it was the next card I'm bringing out to clarify from the top of the deck for the Seven of Swords. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The Five of Swords in reverse. Eight of Cups. Six of Pentacles. Ace of Cups in reverse. And then the Sun in reverse. So there's an elephant in the room, and nobody's talking about it. And it pertains to this Queen of Wands. And it pertains to something that didn't go her way. Something didn't go her way. And I have a feeling like it's not being talked about because whatever occurred or whatever is occurring or whatever is going on with this individual, it's an uncomfortable situation. I think that this is a situation this person doesn't want to talk about. I think people know about it. That's the elephant in the room, but this person doesn't want to talk about it, doesn't want to address it, doesn't want to acknowledge that it exists, whatever the situation is. I feel like with the Seven of Swords out here, there was some kind of deception. Now, this Queen of Wands could potentially be responsible for, sorry, I'm putting these cards out of order. This Queen of Wands could be responsible for some kind of behind-the-scenes shenanigans that cause some unrest or some problems. I feel like it's affected everybody equally. I also feel like it's something that this Queen of Wands, unfortunately or fortunately, I guess it depends on your perspective, but I don't think this Queen of Wands can escape this because it's affecting everybody and it's something that everybody is aware of but not talking about. I think that there's this sense that this could potentially be interpreted as mistakes made. And we leave it in the past and we move on from this. I think that's the expectation and or the hope. That this can be perceived, whatever the Seven of Swords is, this can be perceived as some mistakes made, some hiccups along the way, and perhaps we can walk away from this conflict, leave it unaddressed, move on, no need to talk about it, let's just sweep it under the rug, let's just bury it, let's bury it, this giant elephant, we gotta bury this giant elephant and get past this. We're just going to shrug it off. We're just going to say, well, you know what, it caused some issues, yeah, but we don't want to talk about it because it's going to make this Queen of Wands upset or uncomfortable. Now, the Queen of Wands can be your energy Scorpio or somebody that you're dealing with. You could be represented by one of these people within the group that is affected by the situation, whatever's occurring here. So I want to remind you that you can embody this energy, or you may not be on the table yet. This Queen of Wands has received a little bit of a blow to her ego. Because something didn't transpire, I think, the way that she had hoped that it would. and it's a bit of a blow to her ego. And so she could be feeling sensitive, or people surrounding her could be aware that it's possible she could get triggered if the topic is talked about or if it's addressed. But I feel like with the Ace of Cups in reverse, to me this is indicating a little bit of a blow to the ego, because something didn't transpire for her, something didn't go her way. Ow, don't bite my ear. I also think that there's I think there may have been an expectation that things would go the way of this Queen of Wands. Maybe that was part of the deception, is that there was, you know what, before I interpret this anymore, let's get some more cards out on the table, Scorpio, and see what else we get. King of Cups. Three of Swords. Okay, please don't squawk. Sorry, ringtone is going off in the bedroom. My son's phone. And the bird goes nuts every time she hears a noise in another room. It could be a cough, could be a sneeze, could be your alarm. Ringtone in this case was a simple little ding dong, and she goes nuts. Three of Cups in reverse this time, clarifying the Seven of Swords. You know what? Can you see these cards? I wish you could see this set better. I've got to adjust. I'm trying to figure out my camera angle. I tried something yesterday that was a total bomb, and I didn't end up uploading videos because I couldn't. Anyway, Knight of Cups in reverse. The Chariot. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. And then Knight of Wands in reverse, clarifying this Queen of Wands. Okay, so this is interesting. First of all, we have a King of Cups on the table. This does feel like somebody separate than the Queen. Somebody who's definitely affected by the situation in a very heartbreaking way. This King of Cups has been affected by the situation in a manner that's very heartbreaking. Feels like whatever this is, whatever occurred, and I do feel like, again, there's this elephant in the room that's not being addressed, but it's affecting this person dramatically. The King of Cups is someone who's typically very loving, very compassionate. I often get the... I often associate the King of Cups with like a grandfatherly figure, someone who's just got unconditional love for everybody around him, someone who has, you know, worked hard his whole life, and he's sitting in his chair in the backyard with something on the grill, and he's got grandchildren playing around his feet, and he's just living life and appreciating what he's created, including his family. And that's the type of energy I get off of the King of Cups. And I feel like that kind of gives you a good idea of what kind of energy the King of Cups embodies. Somebody who's very compassionate, very loving, very available, emotionally available. And I feel like he's affected by the situation. However, he's not the only one who's affected, but I think he's the one who's most affected. And this has something to do with emotional connections, relationships, something on an emotional level. Whatever occurred here, it's affected the group dynamic, and this Queen of Wands is responsible for what's happened. At least as it stands right now, things are moving forward, and I don't think that there's a lot of communication regarding the matter. I think the white elephant, could be a white elephant. The elephant, could be a pink elephant too. The elephant is still in the room, but nobody's talking about it. And I think the impression is that things are moving along, perhaps how this Queen of Wands would hope. But what she's either not aware of or not addressing is that the elephant is so blatantly in the room that everybody can see it. This is not something that is hidden. This is not something that is maybe it's there, maybe it's not. This is not where people are uncertain about the situation. It's plain as day to everybody. In other words, if there was some kind of shenanigans going on in a covert manner, unseen, not spoken about, that might be the case, but everybody knows about it. Do you know what I mean? Whoever's trying to pull off these covert shenanigans, they've done a really shitty job about it. Or, it's gone on so long, or it's gone on to a point where you can't hide it anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes you get to a point where maybe you're trying to keep something secret, or maybe you're trying to hang on to a lie, but it carries on so long, or to the point that it's just obvious that, why pretend anymore? You know what I mean? Let's get this fourth deck out, see what else we get. The Moon. King of Cups in reverse this time. Page of Swords again. The Fool, this time in the upright position. Ten of Cups in reverse. Eight of Swords. Four of Swords. And then we have the Tower again, this time in the upright position. Okay, this is interesting because I indicated before that I think that everybody is very clear about what's going on. There's an elephant in the room that nobody's talking about. Nobody's talking about it, but everybody knows what's going on. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but there could be another source of information regarding this situation. The thing is, this Queen of Wands is not privy to that. She doesn't know. She doesn't know that everybody knows. She's unaware of this. Now, if she were to find out that people are aware of what's going on, or what's been happening, or what occurred in the past, or what the Seven of Swords is, if she were to find out that people know, it would trigger her. It might trigger her in a very negative manner. It might be an unpredictable trigger. In other words, the people that surround this person know how this person is. They know their nature, right? But I think that if she found out that other people are aware of what's going on, possibly through another source, not from her mouth, it could trigger her if she were to find out. Because based on her perception, things are moving along because nobody's overtly talking about the situation. As far as she's concerned, it's been swept under the rug. It's not being acknowledged via her 3D reality, then it's not happening. Does that make sense? Scorpio, it's very interesting. Now, here's the other deal with the moon and this King of Cups coming out. This king is being affected by the fact that it's not being talked about. And it's affecting him in a really harsh manner. In an emotional way. I feel like this king with temperance and the star in reverse down here, that the lack of light shed on this elephant is causing him a significant amount of grief to the point where he almost feels detached or removed or maybe purposefully separating himself from the situation in an emotional manner because it hurts too much for him. It's too painful for him to keep this swept under the rug. In other words, I think, it could be that everybody's aware of the situation and everybody is privy to what's going on because there's some other kind of source. But the fact that it's not being spoken about out loud, that it's not being addressed and maybe resolved, or that, things aren't being called out for what they are, it's affecting this king on an emotional level. So I think part of the problem and part of what is perpetuating this situation, the way it stands right now, is that whoever's involved in this group dynamic, again, it could be family, friends, colleagues, co-workers, there is this sense of everybody's respectful of one another. Everybody wants to treat each other fairly. Everybody wants to be a team player. And to a certain extent, that's what the problem is that everybody's trying to be a team player. Everybody's trying to be fair to one another. Everybody's trying to be objective. I don't think there's a desire for feelings to be heard or for people to get triggered, for example. But that also seems to be what the problem is because people are tiptoeing around. People are tiptoeing around the issue and nobody's willing to speak up because everybody wants to keep the peace. But it's affecting people in a number of different ways. I think that it is affecting the relationships within the group dynamic, ultimately, not to address this issue, but it's also having a specifically it's having a significant impact on this King of Cups. And this Queen of Wands is in La La Land over here. She's not aware of what's going on and she wants to keep it that way. But I don't think that's how it's going to go, ultimately. So let's get this last round out for Scorpio and see what else. So we have the Sun now. So we've got the Sun in the Tower in reverse, and we've got the Sun in reverse in the Tower over here. I gotta show you these cards. I love when that happens. I love when this happens. Just absolutely floats my boat. Nine of Pentacles. Justice. Six of Wands in reverse. Eight of Cups in reverse again. Or it's Eight of Cups up here, and then Eight of Cups in reverse is clarifying the Eight of Cups. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Four of Wands. And then the Lovers in reverse. So it's a very, very interesting story, Scorpio. And most of these cards kind of clarified how the story's been going so far. So the King of Cups has these cards, and the Queen of Wands has these cards. The King of Cups is being affected by things not coming to light, and the Queen of Wands wants things to maintain their level right now, to lack clarity. Again, I don't think she's aware that other people are aware of what's going on. She's just happy it's not being talked about. But it's causing dissension within the group, and rightfully so, because whatever this is that caused a Five of Swords, Seven of Swords kind of energy, whatever happened within this group dynamic, if it went unaddressed and it was not being spoken about, but people are still aware about it, they're still aware of it, it's obviously going to cause some dissension within the group. I think that this King of Cups, first of all, this Nine of Pentacles coming out here with his energy, to me this indicates he is being affected in a significant manner. And again, this is something that's affecting him on a more personal level and him alone. And it's affecting everybody, but for him it's a different type of reaction. There's a different type of outcome for him, and it's more significant, more severe, more painful. There is a level of frustration within the group regarding this mentality that everybody respects one another, everybody's treating each other fairly, everybody's on the same level playing field, we're not going to point finger. You know, there is a certain level of frustration regarding that state of affairs within this group dynamic, because it's what's keeping things from coming out in the open, which needs to happen. This Queen of Wands doesn't want it to happen, but it needs to happen for the sake of this dynamic and for the sake of this King of Cups. So we have the Seven of Cups, which came out as the last card, and I just want to look real good at the rest of these cards and see if I can't get anything else before I read this. So there is some kind of, there could be like a long-term goal or something that this group dynamic is working on, working towards, moving towards, or something. There's something here indicating that there is some kind of long-term goal or something that these people are creating together or working on together. And I think that this situation created a hiccup, so to speak, much more dramatic and extreme than just a hiccup. But there's been maybe some delays or some issues within this group dynamic because of the problems that have occurred in the past, because of these, because of the Seven of Swords energy. And there is this desire to kind of get things moving again, get things going again, but this needs to be left in the past. The Queen of Wands wants it to be left in the past and not spoken about, so that this can be had again, or things can move forward towards this Four of Wands again. Four of Wands can be like a long-term goal or something that's being built. This can indicate family, home, celebration, a coming together. I feel like there's something that this group dynamic is moving toward or trying to achieve together. And in order for this to happen, there needs to be a choice made. Either we leave this conflict in the past and we don't talk about it anymore and we just move on and pretend it never happened, which is what this Queen of Wands wants, or we bring this out in the open. And how that affects this Queen of Wands is uncertain. It doesn't feel like it would be a positive thing. However, this almost feels like a situation where the whole of the group is being negatively affected by this elephant that's not being spoken about versus this Queen of Wands over here who's perfectly happy not to talk about it. If it were spoken about, there would be this relief for the whole, for the group dynamic, and this King of Cups, whereas this Queen of Wands then would have some kind of issue to deal with regard to this being out in the open or talked about. I hope that makes sense, Scorpio. So 7 of Cups, 7 of Water. Let's go ahead and read this card and then we're going to wrap this up. It's about a page. And here we go, Scorpio. The 7 of Water represents letting go and surrendering to the flow of life and doing so with complete trust and faith. She is about relinquishing control over all relationships and outcomes and believing that whatever unfolds in the future is what is meant to be. She has worked diligently in the present, imbuing all she does with her love so as to create a future that will bring what she needs to learn, heal, and grow. Now content and satisfied because she knows she has done everything she can, she lays back to rest, allowing herself to flow to the next moment and task. The need to control others or a situation is born of fear. Whether that fear is about losing someone or something we love, of being alone, or is simply a fear of failure or missing out, we do what we can to maintain the illusion that we have control. But control is only an illusion, even if we would like to believe otherwise. We can make empowered choices and work with due diligence and dedication. We can create with the purest of intentions and be motivated by love, but the outcome we desire will also be influenced by timing, circumstances, and other people, both those close to us and those of whom we have no knowledge. Because of this, we can have only a partial influence and the rest is up to fate. If we try to exert more influence and control, we risk sabotaging our hopes and desires and manifesting an outcome that is vastly different to the one desired. How do you hold on to water? The future is not fixed. It is fluid and shifting and so vast with infinite possibilities that it cannot be contained. Allow it to be. Detach emotionally, let go of all expectations, and have faith. Don't invest in speculation, what ifs, maybes, worry, or fear. The 7 of Water comes to tell you that it is time to take a deep breath and exhale. If you have set your intentions, are motivated by love, and have done all that is necessary here in the present, then it is time to give yourself permission to relax and let go. Embrace a peaceful, receptive, and flowing state that takes you forward on the next stage of your journey. Your future is now in the hands of fate. So I actually really like that card for this reading and for the ending. To me, it indicates, first of all, there is no outcome indicated in this set of cards. It feels like this is a current situation, something in the present, something that has not been resolved. And by resolved, I mean brought out in the open. I think the 7 of Cups is indicating this need to allow things to happen the way they're going to happen. Allow fate to have its way. Regardless of who you are in this reading, it's going to happen. The good news is the people who've walked this, the high road, who've taken the high road and followed this mantra, or what this group is adhering to, which is we have respect for one another. We treat each other fairly. Yes, we are to a certain extent bound by that philosophy. Maybe it holds us back, for example, from pointing at the elephant in the room. But at the same time, if you live a life of high integrity, if you take the high road and you follow the right path, fate will ultimately, your fate will ultimately probably be a positive outcome. I mean, how can it not be? So I think that the cards are indicating, the Seven of Cups card is indicating that things are going to transpire for everybody involved the way it's meant to transpire for everybody involved. And that's how the universe works. Right, Scorpio? That's how the universe works. So I think the advice being given is this could be painful, especially for this King of Cups. With time, things are all going to fall into place the way they're meant to. So have faith. Maintain strength. Do what you know is right in the moment. And the universe will take care of the rest. So I'm going to leave that here, Scorpio. I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope that it resonated for you. If it did, please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Scorpio.